Hello and welcome to Drunk on Tea. Today I'm taking a look at the new World War II British Army paint set by the Army Painter Historical line. Seeing how good they are at painting your British World War II troops for bolt action and other contemporary war games. As with all Army Painter paints, the paints come in dropper bottles, and you can see here how any of their new historical paints, if they have a match in their traditional line, it says it on the side of the bottle. So this is the model I'm going to be painting up today, a British World War II infantry soldier, which I've primed black, just to give us a nice smooth, even base coat for our colours to work from. First of all, I'm coming in with the dark battle dress, and we're going to paint this all over the uniform to the soldier. As with a lot of these new Army Painter paints, it goes on really smooth and gives some nice coverage. It's a nice dark brown colour, and as these have all been checked by historical experts, it should be really close to the uniform colour of British soldiers in World War II. So I'm applying this all over the uniform. Although the coverage is good after one coat, I am going to come through with another layer just to get that real solid coverage all over the uniform to this soldier. So I'm just going to work in a couple of thin layers, making sure I get all of the uniform with a couple of layers of the dark battle dress. And after a couple of layers, you can see I've got a nice solid coverage all over the uniform. So the next thing I'm going to paint is all of the straps and the webbings on the model. For this, I'm using webbing green. So once again, this applies really nice and smoothly. It's quite a nice bright green colour. So I'm using this to pick out all of the parts of webbing and the strapping on the model. I'm trying to be nice and careful around the uniform I've already painted. We're just picking out all of those straps with a couple of layers of webbing green. But I've not put a backpack on this model. I can pick out the ones on his back here. So these Warlord Games bolt action miniatures are really nicely detailed. They're quite fun to paint, and they do make a nice change from painting Space Marines for Warhammer 40,000. At this point, I'm also picking out the strap for his rifle as well, catching that with some webbing green. And I'm also going to apply this all over his helmet as well, where he's got this mesh over the top. When we apply a shade later, this should go into those recesses and give a really nice effect on his helmet. And after a couple of layers of webbing green, you can see we've got a nice smooth, even coat all over those details. So the next thing I'm going to paint is the skin. For this, I'm using the Fair Skin paint. I'm just going to apply a couple of layers all over the face and the hand. Now this colour is a lot brighter than a skin colour I would normally use on my models. I tend to use a Bugman's Glow style colour, which is a bit darker and redder for the base layers, but this is the one that comes in the set, so this is what I'm going to use to paint this World War II British soldier. See, this is quite a light paint, so over the dark base coat it's going to take a couple of layers to get a solid coat. But after I've applied a couple of layers, you can see I've got that nice solid skin colour all over the face and the hands. So now I'm going to paint the body to the rifle. For this I'm using Rifle Brown, which is quite a nice sort of reddy brown colour. I'm just applying this all over the rifle. I'm not worrying about getting this over details that I'll be painting with metallics later. Just want to make sure I carefully pick out all of the body to the rifle with a bit of this Rifle Brown. Obviously being careful around the hands I've already painted. I don't want to have to paint back over them with that really light skin colour. With the Rifle Brown applied, it's picked out the rifle, There's really only a couple of base coats left to apply to this model. The next of those, I'll pick out the metallic details. So I'm going to be using this steel paint here. And I'm just going to carefully pick out things like the bayonet, the magazine, all of those sorts of details on the rifle. Anything that I want to be metallic, I'm going to pick these out with some of the steel paint now. And I'm also going to pick out any of the metallic parts of the buckles and things like that on the model as well. Just carefully picking these out with a little bit of steel. Where he's got this on his back as well, I'm just going to pick this out with some steel too. Just making sure I coat all of this with a couple of layers of paint till I get a solid coverage. This paint is quite nice as a metallic paint, goes on nice and smooth, and does actually give good coverage with one layer. And after all the metallic details are picked out, there's only one final thing left to do, and that's going to be to paint his boots black. So for this I'm using the matte black paint, and I'm just going to apply this all over the boots, just to tidy them up and get a nice solid black coat all over his boots. Obviously I'm being careful around the uniform, just making sure I just capture the areas I want with some matte black. With that matte black applied, that is all the base coats applied to this model. So now the next step is I'm going to shade the miniature using some of the shades that come in the set. So the first one I'm using here is the brown tone. I'm going to apply this all over areas of webbing and the uniform, just giving all of this an all over shade of this brown tone. I think this is a match for the Army Painter Strong Tone. So we all know how people love painting strong tone all over their miniatures. So I'm just going to give this one an all over shade to the uniform and the webbing with this brown. And now with some warm skin tone, I'm going to shade the skin. This is the same colour that's in the John Blanche Army Painter set that I tested a little while ago. So I know how this colour works. So I'm just applying this over the skin. And it should give that sort of reddy colour back to the skin that I normally base coat it with. And finally, with some black tone, I'm going to shade all over the rifle and the metallic details. So I'm just applying this all over the weapon, making sure I catch the steel as well. So just picking out any larger metallic areas with the black tone as well.
If you enjoyed the video, please press like. If you want more videos, press the subscribe button and ring the notification bell. If you would like to support the channel and become a member, please press the join button down below.
And after those shades have dried, you can see how they've given definition all over the miniature. So now it's time to start highlighting. And the first I'm going to highlight is the skin. So I'm coming back in with some fair skin. Where that warm skin tone has added that red colour back into the skin, I'm now just focusing this onto some of the more raised and flatter surfaces where the shade didn't settle, and applying a little bit of this fair skin just to bring it back to a brighter colour. I'm catching areas like his cheeks, his nose, around his eyes, things like that. Just applying a little bit of this fair skin in areas that the shade hasn't settled. Doing the same on the fingers as well. So I'm applying this, going down the fingers, but making sure that I leave that shade showing in the recesses between them. With that fair skin applied, you can see how it's brightened up those areas of skin, but left all the definition from the shade in the recesses. But now I'm going to mix some fair skin with a little bit of matte white. This will just brighten it up just a little bit. I'm going to apply this as a spot highlight, some of the most raised details. So things like the tip of his nose, bottom lip, the chin, areas like that. I'm just catching these with a small highlight of this mix just to brighten them up and add a little bit more definition to the skin of this model. So here on the hands, I'm catching things like the very tips of the fingertips and the knuckles, areas like that. I'm just catching these with a spot highlight of this mix. And with that mix applied, that's the skin painted. I'm going to make sure I pick out the eyes now, just to finish off that face. So for the eyes, I'm coming in with matte black first. I'm just going to very carefully sink this into the recess of the eye socket. Obviously being really careful around the skin we've already painted and highlighted. Just applying a small spot of matte black into the recesses of the eyes. Now with some matte white, I'm going to put a small line within that black we just applied. So being really careful, keeping this really small, just applying a small spot of white within the black. And finally, with some matte black again, I'm going to add a small spot within the middle of the white, and this will act like a pupil. Trying to keep these nice and small. If you do make any mistakes, you can tidy back up with some white again. Just apply a small spot in the middle of the white. And with the eyes picked out, that is all of the face painted on the model. So the next thing I'm going to highlight is the uniform. So to start off with, I'm coming in with some dark battle dress again. And I'm going to apply this to all of the areas that the shade didn't settle on the uniform. So wherever some of that brown tone is sitting in a recess and darkened it down, I'm coming in on either side of that and brightening it back up to colour with a bit of the dark battle dress. So this will leave all of the definition from the shade, but brightening up the other areas, bringing them back up to a brighter colour, so we can continue to highlight up to our brightest highlights. Also be careful at this stage, keep the battle dress paint nice and thin. Now I'm coming in with some mid-battle dress. With this I'm applying it in the middle of all the areas. We just applied the dark battle dress. So this set comes with a tricolour for the uniform. So I'm going to use that to create my highlights all over this uniform on this soldier. So I'm just applying this mid-battle dress in the middle of all the areas I applied the dark battle dress, focusing it towards the most raised points, highest areas, areas of creases and folds, things like that. Obviously, if you want a really nice smooth transition, you can mix these paints together. So I could mix the dark battle dress in with the mid battle dress, but as Army Painter provided this as a tritone, I'm just using them as the pure colours. With the mid battle dress applied, you can see how it's brightened up those areas of the uniform. So there's just one final colour left to apply. And that's going to be with the light battle dress. I'm just going to apply a sort of edge highlight to the sharpest points. I know edge highlights aren't the most historically accurate way of painting, but they are how I often paint my miniatures. I find that it makes them stand out a little bit more on the tabletop. But obviously you could use some mixing and blending to get your nice smooth transitions up to your highlights if you wanted a more realistic look. And if you'd like to see me have a go at painting in that more traditional, more realistic way, please let me know in the comments down below, and I'll show how I would paint this model without edge highlights, just using blending and transitions to get to these brightest points. You can see here I'm not going too heavy with these highlights, I'm just applying some edge highlights to the sharpest areas, just to up that contrast, give the impression of light catching on the sharpest points. And with that light battle dress applied, that is the uniform highlighted. You can see how it's got a really nice effect, going from the darkest colours to the brightest highlights. So now I'm coming in with some webbing green and webbing khaki mixed together. For this I'm going to highlight all of the areas of webbing on the model. So I'm applying this a little bit like an edge highlight, but also focusing it onto the larger, flatter areas that the shade didn't settle. But I'm leaving wherever that brown tone settled into a recess. I'm leaving that darker colour, but just sort of focusing this towards the very edges of the webbing to brighten it up as a highlight. And also make sure I catch it on the strap to his rifle as well, just catching the very edges with the highlight of this mix. On the helmet, I'm going to catch the top of some of the bits of netting on the top of his hat. I'm just catching some of those with a bit of this mix, and I'm also catching the very edge of the helmet within a highlight as well. With that two-colour mix applied, you can see it's brightening up those areas of webbing, but I'm going to come in with another colour and brighten this up a little bit more. So I'm mixing in a little bit of light battle dress into the mix I had before of the webbing green and the webbing khaki. I'm just going to apply this as a really thin highlight in some selected areas, just to brighten them up a little bit more. So I'm just focusing this on sort of the sharpest points, most raised details, edges of straps, things like that. I'm just applying a little highlight of this mix, just to brighten up those areas and add a little bit more contrast to the model. And on the helmet, I'm just catching some of the sharpest bits of the netting, just applying small thin lines of this brighter highlight mix, just to catch some of those areas and give the impression of light catching the very top parts of his helmet. And with that highlight applied, you can see it's made the webbing stand out, really added some definition to this model. So there's only a couple of details left to highlight now. The next of those will be the gun. So for this I'm using rifle brown and mid battle dress, about a 50-50 mix of the two colours. I'm just using this as a highlight on all the sharpest points of his rifle. So whether there's a sharp edge, bit of detail, things like that, just catching those sharpest points with a thin edge highlight of this mix. With the rifle highlighted, the only thing left to highlight now are his boots, because there isn't a brighter metallic colour to highlight any of the metals. So for the boots, I'm using matte black and matte white to create a nice grey colour, about that of, say, Mechanica Standard Grey. I'm just going to highlight any of the raised details on his boots. I'm just catching the sharpest points and applying a small edge highlight to some of these details, just so that there's definition and contrast all over the model. I very much do like painting in that edge highlight style. I find it makes the models look really good on the tabletop. I know obviously a lot of more historical people tend to prefer a more realistic paint scheme. And there we have it. That is how to paint a World War II British soldier using the new historical set from the Army Painter. Please let me know in the comments down below if you'd like to see me test out the US Army paint set and the German paint set, and also if you'd like to see me do these in a much more realistic, less edge highlighted style. But thank you very much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. And as always, an extra special thank you to Jenkins, our Tea Lover channel member. Thank you so much for the support, and happy painting!